Hey guys, we're in round 2 of a Magic Origins draft. I think this is hand we have to mulligan. We do have a 1-drop, but we don't have a whole lot more going on in the early game, and we only have 2 lands, so we're going to mulligan. This is better, however. 2 Fairy Miscreants in an opening hand is good, and so are 2 Separatist Void Mages, so drawing stuff to back that up would be even better. And a Swamp is pretty good too. We'll play Fairy Miscreant number 2 to draw a card. I don't think it really influences, ooh, Lord. It does influence what we do. We're just going to go wild with these Fairy Miscreants. Alright, so card advantage is nice. And we have 3 flying damage in the air coming at him on turn 3. That was basically the only card we could draw that would influence our play at all, and we drew it, so pretty sweet. Alright, now we have all the mana we could want for various purposes. We'll get in with all our Miscreants. We will play a Swamp, and I will end my turn. We probably play Separatist Void Mage and bounce whatever he plays right here, if he plays anything. If he doesn't, then we play Tower Geist instead. I don't really want to bounce the Cleric. Okay, well, we can't bounce that, so we're going to play Tower Geist instead. So we'll swing in for 3 again. And then we will play our Tower Geist. I think I'm going to put an Undead Servant in the graveyard, actually. We have enough good creatures in our hand, and the Undead Servant is value in the graveyard, so we'll put him in the graveyard and in the turn. And we now have 5 flying damage, which is pretty great. Our opponent is red, so he may have Chandra's Fury, which was the bane of our existence in round 1. Cleric of the Forward Order. Ooh, okay, well, he's thinning out the herd right now. Again, it's not really great to bounce a Cleric of the Forward Order, but when there's equipped, I may still bounce. We'll see what we draw here. Does let him gain life again next turn, but it puts him kind of behind because he has to re-equip that and everything. And we can... Yeah, maybe I just play Watercourser, though. And force him to trade. I think I just play the Watercourser. I'm happy to trade with a suited up Cleric of the Forward Order. Suppression Bonds. Okay, well, opponent keeps answering our attempts to deal with this monstrous Cleric of the Forward Order. And he's well, I don't know if he's going to sacrifice it. I doubt he does. Yeah, he's not. All right. So we swing again, and now we do bounce him. Our opponent does gain life, but if he wants to re-equip his dude, I mean, he has to play it and re-equip his guy, so it does suck that this is the only creature he's played so far. If he'd played anything else, it would be better, but I think this puts us ahead enough that I like it. And I think I just play an island and in the turn. He gets to go up to 11, but he doesn't get to swing at us, so it puts him behind in the race. Yep, especially if that's all he's doing, because we do have Separatist Void Mage number 2 in our hand. And we also just drew a Whirler Rogue. Well, first of all, we swing with everybody who can swing. Okay, so he's blocking. I'm fine with that. Now we do play Whirler Rogue. Our opponent may have Chandra's Fury in his sideboard. It seems pretty likely that he does. And he's definitely going to want to be siding in it against us, given what he's seen in this first game. But I think I still leave Fairy Miscreant in since we haven't seen it. Also play this Foundry of the Consuls and into our turn. Okay, Gear per Gear Crafter does stuff to us. Sure, he suits something up unless he has another spell in his hand. I swing with everything, which I think I'm going to do. Like right now, so if I bounce the Gear Crafter, is he dead? That's the question. 3, 4, 5, no. Nowhere near, actually. And I don't really want to bounce a Gear Crafter. His deck is filled with creatures who you don't really want to be bouncing, unfortunately for us. But we're going to swing with everybody. He can actually take it all and go to 1. Yeah, but I figured that would be what he did. Seemed likely anyway. Okay. Well, we're still the beatdown. Ooh, combat trick. Celestial Flare. That's interesting. I think I just sack a Thopter. That's not very good against us. At least one of his cards isn't very good against us. We don't have any other artifact synergies, and we have more Thopters that we're probably going to make on the end of this turn. So yeah, we'll just sacrifice the Thopter. So these still die. And we still take them down to 5. And we can have lethal in the air with our Foundry of the Consuls next turn. So seems pretty legit. Chandra's Fury would be bad, though. Charging Griffin. All right. That probably means we win, depending on... I mean, if he taps out here, it means we win. If he doesn't tap out, we might not. Yeah, we got this. Because we can bounce it. So we'll sacrifice Foundry of the Consuls. Get more Thopters. Hey, Undead Servant. But we don't need to play him, even though it would be cool to actually trigger that. But we'll play a Void Mage. Bounce the Charging Griffin and swing for 5 in the air for lethal. All right, game 1 goes to us. The 3 Fairy Miscreants at the beginning were pretty brutal for our opponent. They just messed him up. Orbs of Warding would actually be pretty good against us, wouldn't it? Trying to think if there's anything. I mean, our Separatist Void Mages didn't seem great against him. Almost every creature he played had some ability that was annoying and that we didn't really want to bounce in an ideal situation, but I think we still leave it in. He has a few of his own Thopters, but I don't think we change anything really. Chances are good if he has Chandra's Fury, he sides it in, and it could be a big blowout for us, but I think for now we leave the Miscreants in. If we see 1 in this game, maybe I side them out and do what we did in round 1. But for now, I think we leave it. Especially if we can get 3 in a row again early. When they replace themselves like that, too, it's less of a problem when they get Chandra's Fury, but it's still a problem. And we do have 2 in our hand, which is pretty nuts. No black, but with Water Courser, so I think we keep. We're on the draw, so we're liable to hit some black, although I feel like I've said that before today. But we'll play a Fairy Miscreant. Feels like we have about 6 of them in our deck instead of the 4 we actually have, but all right, similar opening for both of us. Okay, still no black, but we'll play Fairy Miscreant number 2. And there's some black. For now, though, I will swing for 1, and then I'll play an island. And in the turn, bashes into us. We take it. Throwing Knife again. So we're off to a similar start with our opponent. We swing. I think I want to play Water Courser because we know he has Burn, and it doesn't die to Fiery Impulse, and it creates more of a problem for him if he wants to suit his guy up and swing. He can still trade for it, so. Okay, Imprint Tactician. That means we just take 3 this turn. Okay, we haven't actually seen our Claustrophobia yet. It's good to know that we have that. I will be swinging in the air and then playing Undead Servant. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Play Undead Servant number 1. We've yet to actually trigger his ability. We had the opportunity to in the last game, but it was unnecessary. If he drops a 5th land and goes Chandra's Fury, that's pretty bad for us, but not as bad as it was when it got played against us. Our opponent, playing Pyromancer's Goggles in round 1, managed to just destroy us with it twice. That wasn't great news. Negate would have been a nice sideboard card. So our opponent has 2 cards left in his hand. Now he's going to have 1, but what is he playing? Hopefully something that can get claustrophobia'd. He could also be burning something for 2 with the X burn spell. Okay, Suppression Bonds. All right. Well, that's not great, but it's not super awesome for opponent either. I just trade with the Imprint Tactician. Maybe we just draw another of those. Okay, Cruel Revival. That does let us get him back, which is all right. I think I just play Deadbridge Shaman for now, though, and continue to swing in the air. Opponent is down to 1 card. So I think it's safe to play our Deadbridge Shaman. And we'll be happy, like, no matter how he tries to kill it, for it to die, because unless it's Suppression Bonds again. Chandra's Fury, maybe? That would be bad. Okay, Prickle Boar, good. Not Chandra's Fury. That is something we can Cruel Revival or Claustrophobia. I doubt he attacks here. Oh, he does. Okay, well then we're going to destroy the last card in his hand and his creature, so we get a 2-for-1. What did he have in his hand? Probably a land or something unexciting. No, Volcanic Rambler. So something relevant, if not exciting. Okay, so we swing with our Miscreants. I think I want to play Claustrophobia because it also lets us play our Shambling Ghoul for no reason other than that. So we'll just put Claustrophobia here. And no, there's nothing I could play for that amount of mana, but it just feels wrong not to leave colored mana up. So I will play a Shambling Ghoul and end the turn. It's another dude. Ooh, that dude's a little more of a problem since he makes another dude. Alright, Throwing Knife has been equipped. Okay, Whirler Rogue is pretty nice. I think I swing with everything and then drop Whirler Rogue. If my opponent wants to do some trading, then that's good for us. Yeah, I'm perfectly okay with that action. Our opponent probably shouldn't be so willing to block and give up his guys at this point. I mean, he would be taking even more damage, but when we have way more cards, I mean, we have 2 more cards in hand than he does. I guess that's not way more, but that's enough to be relevant. So we'll play Whirler Rogue, leave mana up for Disperse. That's not in our hand, but worth bluffing. Our opponent does have a lot of removal, so that's something to be aware of. So here we swing with everything. I'll play this. And we'll crack the Foundry at the end of his turn, almost no matter what happens, because that gives us lethal. Plus, if he plays a creature, we go Cruel Revival and kill him in the air with Thopters plus our creatures. Okay, he may have removal. He has kept a card in his hand, but I still think we go for the kill here, since, if he does have removal, we might as well just make him use it. If it's Chandra's Fury, then that's not so good, but okay. Opponent scooped. All right, well, our deck performed much better here in round 2. We had much better draws, better luck, and it was a lot of fun to play multiple Fairy Miscreants. We still haven't gotten to play multiple Undead Servants, unfortunately, even though we have just as many of them as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. That was a quick round. I'll see you in round 3. Hopefully we can finish up 2 and 1.